All right, you guys. So tonight is chapter 7, 8, and 9. As you guys have heard me say, these are my favorite 3 chapters in the whole book. I love the whole book. Obviously, I've read it a million times. But these 3 chapters are like the super sauce that makes it happen. If you don't get what's in these 3 chapters, then you're not going to be able to achieve the science behind getting rich. And he even states that in one part of these, I can't remember which part of these 3 chapters, but he basically just says, like, if you don't get this part right here, you are not going to get rich. It's not going to happen. And I have that part like super underlined, so I'll go over the course first. But I'm going again off of my original copy, and you can see this is it right here. This is the secret sauce. This is the baby that makes everything happen. It's absolutely, let me mute you guys real quick, insane how this works. And I want to start out by saying, when I got into my first network marketing company, which was Arbonne 15 years ago, that was the first thing they had us do, was get just a notebook, just a little notebook, and to make a list every day of 3 or 4 or 5 things that you're grateful for. And I didn't know why. I mean, we hadn't done that before in my life as a teacher. I was grateful for things, and obviously I thought about things that I was grateful for. Maybe I expressed it, I don't know, but I never wrote anything down. And so tonight I'm going to be talking to you in depth and detail about gratitude and the power of a gratitude journal. I literally have, I don't know how many. I wanted to find them and search. They're just all over the house in different places where I keep books and stuff. But I have tens and probably hundreds. I would guess probably hundreds over the last 15 years of gratitude journals. And these gratitude journals have literally created my life into existence. They have created my goals into existence, my dreams. I was reading through, I actually wrote some stuff on the back of one of these pages in here. And it was all about, what blew my mind, it was all about, it was right when this, because remember I told you I read this for the first time when I first got started in Arbonne. And it's, this sentence said, I'm going to be making $1 million per month with Arbonne by 2020. I was like, 2020, that's right now. But this is 15 years ago, and I'm like, well, damn, I'm not making $1 million per month yet. And I'm definitely not with the company Arbonne, but it's close. So, but I actually wrote like a lot of stuff in here, and a lot of it has happened. A lot of it, because remember, this was 15 years ago, and it was talking about having enough money to buy what I wanted and to be able to do what I wanted to do and see myself on the beach. I'm like, living there, babe. The kids, the house, my travel to faraway places. At this point in my life, I had never left the country when I wrote this, and so it was talking about boating on our boat. That's in here. And so just surrounded by great people and have plenty of money in the bank and all this stuff. I was detailed with it, but it was like, wow, this is really, like, a lot of this stuff has come true. Don't have $1 million a month yet, so I'm going to work on that specific number. I'm just going to manifest that real quick. So you guys, we're going to talk in detail about that tonight. But basically, with gratitude, okay, so the first step, in the very first paragraph, he says the first step is to get rich is to convey the idea of your wants to formless substance. You know that's God. So convey your idea of the things that you want. Convey, you mean you're going to have to convey your wants, that whatever it is, you're going to need to be specific. We're going to talk about the specificness of this, okay? So he's going to give you instructions. Hey, there's a manual to get rich. Did you guys know that? There's a manual to get rich. So this is it. Here we go. If you'll follow these instructions that he gives you, you're going to be certain to bring into perfect unity of mind with the supreme power of God. Supreme power, substance. Remember that from last week, that formless substance? That's God, right? So if you follow these instructions, okay, here it is. The whole process of mental adjustment and attunement can be summed up in one word, and it's gratitude. Gratitude. The whole thing to manifesting Everything you want in your life is from a place of gratitude. And it's not just like, oh, I'm so grateful for this, or oh, I'm so happy I have this. That's just words, and words are great. Words are powerful, but we're going to talk about what gratitude really is and the depths of it, and how you can use that feeling, cultivate that feeling, practice that feeling. That's one of the reasons why I love Tony Robbins so much. Because when you go to one of his events, you are 100%, like, he does so many what he calls closed eye processes, so many little mini meditations using gratitude. He has a 14-minute one. I'll share that with you guys. It's fabulous, just to bring that gratitude in, and so many. Gosh, Greg Braden, I could share so many, like 10 to 15 minute, right around that time frame, quick little meditations that are all about gratitude and just getting you centered in that place. It's just huge. This right here, if you don't like, if nothing else sinks in because it all seems too detailed or old or weird, or you're not really for sure what this all means, gratitude is simple, right? We all can understand that word. We all know what it means. You guys have all felt at one point in time in your life, I'm sure, and many times, gratitude for something, right? Gratitude, grateful heart for, getting somewhere safely, or for the food that's on your plate, or for your kids being safe, or whoo, that was a close call, right? So grateful. Thank you, God, we did not get in that accident, right? Or, oh my gosh, I'm so grateful my light bill was paid this month, or just that feeling of really gratitude in your heart. Someone did something kind for you. Maybe they paid for your Starbucks in line in front of you. I'm like, yes, thank you so much for that, right? When that happens. So just a feeling of gratitude, okay? And there are different, believe it or not, there are different levels of feelings of gratitude. Because sometimes there's things, and I don't want to say we take things for granted, but sometimes we do. I take for granted that I live in a controlled environment. This is a temperature controlled environment. It's up there on the thing on the thermostat. It's there, right? I'm sitting in this comfy, cozy little spare bedroom upstairs. And, sometimes those are things that we can take for granted because some people don't have. But when you start really focusing on being grateful for these little things and really honing in on those feelings, you're going to be able to build on that. And that's where you're going to start to turn yourself into a magnet. And life is a boomerang. I have this written here somewhere, but I'm just going to tell you this. It's my cover photo right now because it is. What you put out, you get back tenfold. We've talked about that law of reciprocity. Life is a boomerang. If you're spending the majority of your time, and I'm not saying you can live there 24/7 because, you got kids, you got pets, you got lives, you got jobs, you got quarantines, you got, crazy stuff sometimes going on, right? So it's taking the time to find those moments of gratitude. And the more you can, they bank on each other, and you put that out and it comes back to you. And if it's chaos all the time in your life, and chaos in your feelings, and chaos in your emotions, and you're bitching about stuff all the time, complaining about this person and this customer and this distributor and this husband and this wife and this kid and this, and if you're always complaining about stuff, then you're always going to have more things to complain about. So it's really going to be a practice for you to, I'm not saying anybody specifically, but practice that's going to teach you how to stay centered, stay focused, stay calm, stay focused on the important things, because you'll have more and more and more and more and more of those as that gratitude builds. First, 3 steps, right? First, you believe that there's an intelligent substance. We all agree, from which all things come from. God, source, formless substance, whatever you want to call it. Second, you believe this substance gives you everything you desire. Here's the kicker. You have to believe that God will give you everything you desire. Now, dang it, I desired $1 million a month from Arbonne, and he didn't give it to me. I believed it, but it didn't happen the way that I had anticipated 15 years ago. Does that mean that I don't believe it's going to happen, you guys? It's still a goal of mine. It is absolutely 100% a goal of mine. It has always been something that I'm striving towards all these years, 15 years later. And I haven't got close to $1 million a month yet, right? But I'm working towards it. And I've gotten really close to $1 million a year. So that's a start, right? So it's definitely having that belief that the substance gives you everything you desire. Okay. And remember, we talked about, like, you remember in The Secret where he's like, oh, I want an elephant, and poof, there was an elephant in his family room and like crapped on his floor or whatever. Like our, where he talked about a tree, planting a tree, like things don't necessarily happen immediately. Things happen over time with growth and action. Do you remember that from the previous chapters? So that's how this is right here. You have to believe that you will get everything you desire. And there is a certain level of growth that has to happen in order for those things. So obviously my mindset is not where it needs to be yet to be making $1 million a month. I'm okay. I'm working on it, right? It's what we're here to do. We're here to grow and to learn. Pam Souter blew past that number years ago. I mean, blew past the $1 million a month. I will never forget. We moved down here 5.5 years ago. It was 5 years ago this month. We flew up to Louisville, Kentucky to the Derby with Pam and Dave. Brent and I did. And it's April 30th and it's close night. And we are out partying. And I'm like, oh my God. I would never forget. I picked up my phone. One of my girls was promoting to Diamond that month. And she's like, Stacy, oh my God, I need this, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, I don't know, girl. I'm drinking with Pam. Let me just give you my credit card. I screenshotted her my credit card front and back. I'm like, just place an order for whatever you need. I don't care. I don't know. Just do whatever you need to do with my credit card. I cannot focus right now. Pam, we're in go mode. And so, because for her, it doesn't matter. It's close night. She's not crunching numbers, right? And so anyway, we wake up the next morning. We get in the car that's taking us over to the Derby. And she looks over at me and she goes, I just made $3 million last month. And I'm like, oh my God. She's like, first round's on me. And I'm like, you just made $3 million last month. Holy cow. That's incredible. I'll never forget that moment. I mean, her face, and she was like, because she knows the percentage of money, obviously, that she makes. And so she knew the company's GV for that month. And so that was her commission for the month. And I'm like, mind blown, right? So money is an easy manifestation for her. Anyway, she believes that the source will give her everything she desires. You have to believe it. If you don't believe it, you might as well just hang it up right now. You will get it. You'll get it eventually with the right level of growth and action. Third, you relate yourself to it by feeling of deep and profound gratitude. Now I want to ask you guys this, and I know I'm spending a lot more time here on these first couple paragraphs. Have you ever had the feeling come over you where you're overwhelmed with gratitude, and maybe it's for someone or a group of people, and you send them a message and you just say, I just want you to know I'm so grateful for you. Like, I am so grateful for you, because it's a feeling that really almost overwhelms you, kind of almost brings you to tears. Have you ever felt that for another person or for a situation? I remember right when we moved into our first house here in Florida, and I remember it was raining, and I was sitting outside on the lanai underneath the covered area, and I was just sitting there watching it, and it was just this one of the most profound feelings of gratitude I've ever felt in my life. And it was long. It was, usually feelings of gratitude that are deep and profound, they're kind of quick typically. You can kind of feel them. It's like, oh, you just feel that feeling. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? Anybody? But I remember that one lasted. It was such a deep, profound feeling of gratitude for being here, for everything that had been accomplished before that took us to the point to where we were at that moment 5 years ago, living here. And all that it took, it was just this all-encompassing feeling. It was so profound, so profound. So you're going to get yourself to the point where you're feeling these things on a daily basis, where they almost kind of stop you in your track, okay? Because that feeling of gratitude, when you can have that come up throughout the day at different times for different people, for different situations, and I don't mean just thank God I drove down the interstate at 90 and I made it on time. Yay! You can be grateful for that, but you know what I mean? It's a different feeling of gratitude than a true deep feeling in your heart for somebody or for something that's occurring in your life. And there's baby things of gratitudes that are going to build on that and help you too, okay? So many people who order their lives rightly in all their ways are kept in poverty by their lack of gratitude. If you're not where you want to be financially, if you are living in poverty, or if you are living, I'm not saying you specifically, I'm just saying in general, if people are living in poverty, if they are living below paycheck to paycheck, don't have the money to pay bills, it is a lack of gratitude. So that is something that now you're aware of that can be shifted immediately to make those changes in order to start spinning that wheel the correct direction, that vortex in the correct direction. So then that way you're putting that gratitude out and bringing that back. So first of all, you have to know that there's a God, a source where all things come from. That substance will give you, that source will give you everything you desire, and you relate yourself to it by the deep and profound feeling of gratitude. Again, it's a feeling in your heart, in your soul, here. Your mind, your analytical mind, is not going to get you there. This is designed to screw you up. This is the monkey mind that goes, but she does this and she looks like this and he goes here and he does this and he has this and they did that and blah blah blah, and and you're comparing yourself and you're analyzing and you're thinking and you're blah 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 blah. That's why I'm such a proponent of meditation. Sit your butt down, do it every day, 10-15 minutes, put your earbuds in, quiet, listen. If you do it over and over again, you will get into the practice and it will start to change your life, because you will come to every situation in a different state of mind, at a different place. Because all meditations get you in that heart center. If you're breathing, if you're concentrating on just nothing, you're just being, you're not running through your grocery list of stuff to do. Okay. So the mental attitude of gratitude draws the mind into a closer touch with the source from which all blessings come. You become a magnet, period. Okay. And so then when you think something, poof, here it manifests in your life. When you write about something, poof, here it comes. And you're kind of like, whoa, that was quick. I just said I wanted this. And poof, here comes the idea. I need this idea. Poof, I've got one right now that I'm like, it's right there. I've got one piece of information I need. Just drop it in. I asked for it yesterday. Poof, one dropped in. Immediately, this is something I need. And I give it to God. And there it comes. So the more you practice it, the more you'll be able to utilize that tool on a more consistent basis. There's a law of gratitude. And it is absolutely necessary that you should observe the law if you were to get the results you seek. There is a law of gratitude. So if you're like, well, you know what, people get rich and they're not grateful for what they have, fine, then you can just stand there and keep saying that all you want and stay being poor. It's real simple. Or remember, like we said at the very first day, you're going to have to take on some beliefs and some new things and ideas that you didn't necessarily know to be true, or maybe they even contradict what you were brought up to believe. So you're going to have to let that stuff go. Let go of the doubts or the limiting beliefs. And he talks about that in here, of course, too. So gratitude will lead your mind out along the ways by which things come, and it'll keep you in close harmony with creative thought and prevent you from falling into competitive thought. There is no competition. You're not competing against anybody else for anything. And if you think you are, then you are living in a competitive mindset, and one that is going to prohibit you from reaching your goals. There is more than enough to go around. There are more than enough people to join your team. There are more than enough customers to join your business, and there are more than enough things that you can obtain, places you can go, things that you can have than you could even possibly think of, right? So you're not competing against somebody else for that specific item. Because if somebody else buys that item or that person joins somebody else's team, there's somebody else going to fill that space, right? There's more than enough if you can stay in that creative space. Gratitude alone can keep you looking toward all and prevent you from falling into the error of thinking of the supply as limited. And to do that would be fatal to your hopes. Gratitude keeps you looking toward the all. There's a law of gratitude, and it's absolutely necessary that you observe this law if you're looking to get the results you seek. The law of gratitude is a natural principle that action and reaction always equal in opposite directions. So I like this whole page. I think I just look, I think I just went through and re-underlined everything because it's so important. It's so important. So the grateful outreaching of your mind in a thankful praise to the Supreme Intelligence is liberation or expenditure of force. The grateful outreaching of your mind in thankful praise to the Supreme Intelligence, to God, is a liberation or expenditure of force. It cannot fail to reach that to which it is addressed, and the reaction is an instantaneous movement towards you. There's that magnet, gratitude. It cannot fail. Draw nigh unto God, and he will draw not unto God and nigh blah, blah, draw nigh unto God, and he will draw nigh unto you. That statement is psychological truth. If your gratitude is strong and constant, I want to say consistent and constant. If your gratitude is strong and constant, the reaction in formless substance will be strong and continuous. The movement of the things you want will always be towards you. Your desires will be towards you. You cannot exercise much power without gratitude, for it's the gratitude that keeps you connected with the power. Do you understand this? The power, like Kelsey, I saw you had the book, The Power, just a second ago. The power is the feeling of gratitude. It's those higher vibe feelings. It's the love. It's the joy. It's the bliss. It's the happiness. It's the gratitude, appreciation. Those things are magnets. Yep. And you have to stay centered in them. You'll get pulled out. Your job is to put yourself right back in. You'll have an argument with your spouse. Your kid will throw you, up against the wall, or you want to throw your kid up against the wall. I'm like, it's summertime. It's not even summer yet. The kids are still out of school, right? We're like 2 months. We're going to have a 10-month summer or something. I don't know. Just put them in camp. Put them all in camp. They all need camp every day, all day, 24/7, right? I love it. It's great. Thank God for sitters, right? Thank God for sitters to come over and have camp at the house. That's what I say. But anyways, you guys, you cannot exercise much power without gratitude. Gratitude keeps you connected to the power. So if you're saying, well, she's got these customers coming in, she's signing up this many distributors, her BV is this, she pulled in this much volume in the end of the month. I saw somebody post today, they put in half the volume to go ambassador last month. They were halfway there. To be ambassador, you have to have $250,000 in volume. She was 125 volume at this point in the month last month and pulled in 125 in volume in 2 weeks. $125,000 in volume in 2 weeks. If you're sitting here like, I just need 400 BV or I need 2,000 BV, the girl just pulled in 125. Marwa, to go double ambassador, pulled in $400,000 in volume in a month. And you're like, I need 384 BV. You're like, seriously? Get some gratitude in your heart, people. Come on. You know how much of a magnet you have to be and generate that throughout your team as well in order to pull in that kind of volume. I think I saw Alana post today where her team in the last couple of days pulled in $22,000 in volume when she was going presidential last year. That's a huge magnet that's pulling in, that's generating throughout the whole entire organization. So if you want more, you've got to be that generator, right? You've got to tap into that power of gratitude. So there's more right here. The moment you permit your mind to dwell with dissatisfaction upon things as they are, you begin to lose ground. The moment you jump into your pity party, the moment you get ticked because somebody didn't join your team, the moment you're upset because that loyal customer didn't sign up, the moment you're upset because somebody else signed a loyal or signed a distributor and you didn't, or your husband did this, or your wife did this, or your boyfriend didn't do this, or the moment you start getting in that dissatisfaction of anything, of things as they are. It doesn't say one specific thing. It's just in general. The moment you're dissatisfied, then that's when you begin to lose ground. You fix attention upon the common, the ordinary, the poor, the squalid, the mean, and your mind takes form of these things. Again, it's the boomerang. So you remember we talked to the very first week, you have to monitor your thoughts. Oh my God, it's a lot of work when we got like 500 monkeys going on at the same time, right? You got to monitor those thoughts and go, whoa, get it back together. You've got to get it back together. Then you will transmit these forms of mental images to the formless. And the common, the poor, the squalid, and the mean will come to you. If you are focusing on things that are upsetting you, things that are ticking you off, things that are not happening, whatever you're focusing on that you don't want will come to you. The universe does not hear don't. They don't hear no. I don't want that. Well, great. We didn't hear don't want that. I just hear I want that. They take out the no. They, meaning source, right? The beings, God, universe, whatever you want to call that. The no is not heard. So when you're complaining about, I can't stand her, she's doing this, I don't want her to do this, I don't want him to do this, I don't like how he's doing this, the don't is not heard. So it's you saying that, and then you have these feelings and then these emotions. How many times do you get in the car and you replay conversations that have pissed you off with people? How many times have you guys done that? I mean, I've done that before, obviously, of course, right? But how many times do you do that a day? How many times do you do that a week where you're replaying conversations of things that have ticked you off, situations that have made you upset, things that have hurt your feelings, replaying these things over and over again? You know, like, especially when you do that in the car, but when you're doing that really and not even consciously thinking about that, you're just spinning all of that out into the universe to come back to you tenfold. That crappy conversation, that crappy situation that happened with the person at work or the argument with the spouse, the more that you replay those things, it is literally a magnet that's pulling that back into you, because those feelings, it's chemical. I mean, it's science, it's chemical. The chemicals that are released, those feelings that are released, the frustration, the anger, the resentment, the guilt, the comparison, the shame, whatever it is, when you replay those things that have happened in the past, then you're going to continue to repeat them again. Maybe not with the same person, because remember, life's a boomerang. We don't pick how it comes back. You just put out, it comes back. So you got to get a grip on those things right away. Cancel them out. If you catch yourself in this replay of a situation or a conversation, cancel it. What can I replace it with? Put on an audio, put on a song you love real quick, listen to something, read something. Don't turn on the TV, but do something to change your mindset immediately. Okay, so you fix your attention on the best is to surround yourself with the best. Remember, become the best. So you need to focus on the type of people that you're surrounding yourself with, the audios you're listening to, the books that you're reading, right? The creative power within us makes us into the image of that to which we give our attention. That's huge. The creative power within us makes us into the image of that to which we give our attention. We're a thinking substance. The thinking substance always takes form of that which it thinks about. So what are you thinking about with your body? What are you thinking about with your health? What are you thinking about with relationships? Are you thinking what you don't want to look like? Are you thinking what you do want to look like? Are you thinking about what you don't want to feel like, or what you do want to feel like? Are you thinking about what you don't want your team to be like, or what you do want it to be like? Are you thinking about what you don't want to happen when that paycheck comes around, or what you do want to happen? So the grateful mind is constantly fixed upon the best, and therefore it tends to become the best. It takes the form or character of the best, and it will receive the best. There's a law of gratitude. Like, I'm not making this up. It's the way it works. Okay? If you focused on it, you will get more of it. I promise. That's the way it works. I love this. I posted this earlier. Faith is born of gratitude. Okay, so faith is something that you cannot, like, it's not tangible. Faith is, I love the scripture. It's Hebrews, I think it's 11:1 or 1:11. I don't know. It's Hebrews 1:1:1. I know that. Faith is being sure of what we hope for and certain of things unseen. Faith is born of gratitude. The grateful mind continually expects good things, and expectation becomes faith. This is huge. This is really huge. Faith is born of gratitude. The more grateful that you are, that grateful mind expects good things to happen, because it's a feeling that you're used to, that you're into, and you see those things manifest, and you're even more grateful, and you're more grateful, and you're more grateful. That expectation becomes faith. People are like, well, I hope I'm going to promote this month. You have no faith or belief. I hope I can sign up my 6 customers. You don't have any faith. You don't hope. You don't hope that you're going to do something. You're either going to do it or you don't. It's like saying, I'm going to try to get my customers. No, you're not. You're either going to do it or you're not. Decide. Take the word try out of your vocabulary. I'm not going to try to do 100 burpees. I'm either going to flip them, do them, or I'm not. It's a yes or a no. Unless a bone pops out, I'm going. So you're either going to do it or you're not going to do it. And that's the way that faith works. Faith works from that expectation, from that gratitude, because it's something that's continuously building and building and building. So you know, without a shadow of a doubt, like I told you guys, when I was going ambassador, I told Brent, like, it's happening. It's done. I know. He's like, I don't know. His faith's always been more on the not so. Like, he writes his gratitude journal and all that stuff, but it's not as powerful. It's not as strong as mine. He's a manifester. He can manifest things when he wants to. But it's definitely, it's different. We're all different. It's totally fine. No judgment. But it's definitely got to be something that you feel and you cultivate and you stay consistent with on a regular daily basis. Like he said, constant and consistent. And it has to be that profound feeling, that faith and belief that it will happen. You know it is done, and is done, it's done, it's done, right? No stipulations. No, it's done if. It's just done. And then you put forth that action, energy, and effort, and you stay consistent and constant with that, and it happens because it's just the way it works, right? No matter what it is. Okay. So the gratitude journal, I'm going to talk to you guys about this. It's necessary. It is necessary then to cultivate the habit of being grateful for every good thing that comes to you and give thanks continuously. And because all things have contributed to your advancement, you should include all things in your gratitude. You guys, this is my current gratitude journal right now. I have, like I said, have tons of gratitude journals. I write in them daily. I'm going to share with you guys in our chat how I write in my gratitude journal. Remember, I told you 15 years ago I started with a list? So there's a book called The Magic. The book that Kelsey Has the Power is written by Rhonda Byrne. The Secret was by Rhonda Byrne, and she has a book called The Magic. It all stems back from Wallace D. Wattles' book, the book we're reading right now, The Science of Getting Rich. Okay, so FYI. It all stems back from this book. But this book, the Magic short story here, a lady called me. This was probably, God, what was it, 8 years ago? I think Trey may have been like 7. And so I didn't know her. She lived in downtown Evansville, Indiana, not near where I was. And she wanted to meet me at a library. They had a central library there. And there was a little kid section with like a big Noah's Ark kind of play thing and big kid stuff. Anyway, she said, we can meet there. We'll sit in a little kiddie park, let our kids play. And I wanted to talk to you about these products. And then if you can wrap me in the bathroom, she wanted her legs wrapped before. That was normal. You meet strangers in libraries and you wrap them in the bathroom. It's totally normal. And so I was like, sure, for $50, I'm there. So we met, we talked, and Trey insisted the whole way there, Mom, you've got to get a book. And I'm like, no, Mom is reading 5 books. Mom doesn't need any other books right now. Mom's listening to books on audios. Mom's reading books. I'm good. He kept insisting that we're not leaving until you get a book. So anyways, I talked to the lady. I signed her up as a customer, and I take her to the bathroom. Both our kids are sitting on the floor. I'll never forget it. They're both sitting on the floor over underneath like where the dryer was, and they're just sitting there. They're little, they're like 6, 7 years old, and I'm wrapping her legs, saran wrap. She's got her pants down. It's totally fine. And so she gets up to leave, takes her kid, and where I'm leaving, and Trey's like, no. He goes up to the desk. He goes, where is the adult section in the library? Remember, he's 7. And so we go upstairs, and he goes up there. He walks right up to the lady. He said, I need to get a book for my mom. My mom needs a book. And she's looking at me. I'm like, look, I don't need no book. Just take me to somewhere spiritual. Don't put me in religion. Just give me some spiritual stuff. I don't know. That's the only thing I can think of right now. So we go up and down these aisles, and he's searching. I'm talking, these bookcases are so tall, right? And he goes, Mom, that's the book. And so she grabs the book and pulls it off, and it has the red seal on it like the Secret does. Now, he's never, I'm sure he's probably watched The Secret because we had it played at the house all the time. But maybe, I don't know. I don't know how he would have seen it because the power wasn't even out back then. But he's like, that's the book right there. I didn't even have the book The Secret. I still don't own the book The Secret. The movies, just hands down. But anyway, he says, that's the book. You have to have this book. And I'm like, that's by Rhonda Byrne. She just the one that did The Secret. Never seen this before. It's called The Magic. And he's like, yes, Mom, you have to have that book. I'm like, okay. So like I said, this is like 8 years ago. So I sit down, I open up first chapter and talks about your gratitude book, your gratitude journal. And this is the way you write in your gratitude journal if you expect to receive the things that you are wanting to, to create. So I had always learned that gratitude journal was just make a list of things that you're grateful for. I'm grateful for my electricity. I'm grateful for my new distributors. I'm grateful for my kids. I'm grateful for my husband. I'm grateful for my pet, whatever, right? Grateful for these things. So grateful. This book says, and like I said, I'm going to share this with you guys. I am so happy and grateful for whatever it is, because. So everything, I write 10 paragraphs a night. And each one of them, I'll share them with you, how you start. And then, because it's why. Why are you so grateful for this? And that feeling of gratitude. Thank you, thank you, thank you for this thing in my life. And it can be your electricity. It can be, I'll never forget, in Indiana, it's cold in the winters and a lot of times. So a bunch of us, you guys see me talk about grounding and stuff. We would go, we never missed for years, my team. years, we would go outside together and ground at night. The last thing we did before we did our gratitude journal, before we did our meditations and our abundance book, and we went to bed. I'm talking all my leaders did the stuff because everybody was super like into all the stuff that Stacy's crazy and into, right? They all were into that big time in Indiana. And so that's what our team did. And we went out every night, and there was many nights that it was ice. We would stand for 10 minutes. It was 10 minutes a night on ice and just, arms in the air, just standing there, eyes closed. Thank you, God, for the abundance of all things great, peace, love, joy, happiness, health, wealth, and just breathe and look at the stars. A sense of awe or wonder or just peace is a flow hack. And so if you start the practice of grounding, you'll find that your ideas, the inspiration, the things that will come to you will be crazy, mind-blowing. When you can quiet your mind, this is why meditation is so powerful. Just quieting your mind, grateful, just thank you for the abundance. And so we would do that, and then we'd all come back in and we'd, send each other pictures, and sometimes we'd post them or whatever. And, so, they were in different parts of the country. And so I even had girls out in, Texas standing in the sand. And so anyway, we would write in our gratitude journal, and we would chart. So this gratitude is not just, I'm grateful for the fact that I have feet that are still alive, even though I don't have frostbite, even though it was literally like -10 outside. I survived. Your feet, they get numb after a while. It's totally fine. But we would come back in and we'd write about the things we were grateful for, but we would write about things that we were grateful for that we hadn't accomplished yet, as if they were done. You grounded at the beach, Caitlin? I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Yes. Yeah, the beach is huge. It's huge. It is so, because okay, so the beach, the sand is clear quartz crystal. So that right there in itself, it's cleansing and purifying. So that would absolutely make you feel clear and relaxed and refreshed. The water itself is expansive, and it takes on all the toxins from us. So big props to our ocean, Mother Nature, for taking on all of the detrimental emotions and feelings and things from us. So it's definitely purifying and cleansing to be on the ground. Yeah, connected for sure. So the key to gratitude journal, and I'll share some of my gratitude journal entries with you guys. The key to it is getting to the point where you are grateful for things that you haven't accomplished yet, as if they are. So it's cultivating this feeling of gratitude for something that you haven't obtained yet. And that's in here a little bit here in the next chapter. So that is huge. Huge, huge, huge is a gratitude journal. And I can't make you do it, obviously, as I can't make you meditate and I can't make you go outside and ground. But these are things that I have and still to this day utilize in my life to help me cultivate my life, to help me achieve my goals and my dreams and the things that I want to accomplish and the things that I want to do and the places I want to go and the people that I want to be surrounded with. I write it in my gratitude journals. And the pages, and I think about it from time to time. There's just this feeling of gratitude for just the fact that I have done this all these years. It's not a diary. I'm not writing Dear Diary, blah, blah, blah. There's nothing wrong with that. But this, I'm excited to see my kids be able to read this years later, or my grandkids be able to read all my gratitude journals, just to go through and like, wow, this is what my great grandma used to write. Can you believe she wanted to go here, or she wanted to do this, or oh my God, that's so silly, or that's so amazing, whatever. I just feel like it's super cool that they're going to be able to look back and read all this stuff too. So when like I said, I'll post exactly but the book is called Magic, and each chapter, it's a short little chapter, like literally a couple pages, but each chapter is a different practice in gratitude. Each chapter is a different practice in gratitude. So I highly recommend you get that book. Highly recommend The Magic by Rhonda Byrne. All right, so chapter 8. Thinking in a certain way. So he says, turn back to chapter 6, and he talks about the house, right? Again, you have a clear and definite mental picture of what you want. You can't get what you want if you don't know what you want, and if you don't have a picture of it. It just doesn't work that way. So you have to know the things that you want to do, have, and become. It is not enough that you should have a general desire for wealth, to do good. with. Everybody has that desire. Here's the thing, you guys. How much is your much, right? How much, because it's different from mine. How much do you want to make a month? I used to have a goal between Brent and I to be able to make $100,000 a month. We have done that many months where we have made combined over $100,000 a month. So we're beyond that goal now. We're at that goal where our goal is to make combined over that $1 million a month, or a year, and then a month. I already said a month. I want to make personally over $1 million a year myself personally, outside of his income. So on money wise, maybe your goal is not make 100,000 a year. I remember when it was my goal for Britt and I to be combined. I was a school teacher making not even $30,000 a year, $28,000. And I remember our goal was to get to $100,000 a year. And I remember when we did that. So whatever your goal is, you got to have that number. You got to have that number. You got to have it down on paper. You have to have it, because everybody has a desire to get wealthy. But for some people, $1 is wealthy. For some people, $100 is wealthy. $100 barely gets me out the door. I can't hardly go anywhere for $100, right? If I got to go through this place and run this errand and do this, forget the grocery store. You just give me a $500 bill. Where's that? So whatever is different for me is different for you, but you got to know. You have to know, right? I love this example where he says, if you're going to send a letter to a friend, like you're going to write a letter, right? Send a wireless message to a friend. Not even writing, but a wireless message. Ooh. You would not send letters of the alphabet in their order, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, P, and then let him construct a message for himself. Nor would you take these words at random from the dictionary. You would send a coherent sentence, one which meant something. Keyword, coherent sentence. You need to form coherent sentences. I want this. I desire this. I desire to make this much money. I am so happy and grateful for the 12 new loyal customers that I am signing up by Sunday, because I know that I am going to be offering them products that are going to help them improve their health and wellness in multiple ways. There, that's a gratitude journal entry. Okay, so being grateful for that coherent sentence. You have to form coherent sentences, which is why writing is so key. I don't know if you guys realize what's going on in your heads, but a lot of times there's a whole bunch of jumbled stuff. When you put it on paper, it solidifies it. It makes it like you can't write jumbled, but your mind has got a million things going on at one time. But when you take this time to sit down and write, then you are forming coherent sentences. You're conveying your wants and desires to God. Does that make sense to you all? Like, that's how you're conveying your wants and desires, is written paper. Now, you can say, well, I'm going to type it in my notes section on my phone. Okay, great. There's power to the pen. The pen is powerful. Where'd my pen go? Right here. Blue ink only. Throw all black out. Never write in red. If you want to be cute and creative, I guess you can do purple and green, whatever. Blue ink. Blue ink is creative. Power to the pen. When you write something down, I don't know about you guys in college or in school, high school, whatever, but when I wrote things down, that took it another level in depth into my memory, sunk into my memory. Brent's always like, your memory is so good. How do you remember everything? Well, I read, and I have a photographic memory. I do have a photographic memory, but I write. I can't tell you how many books I have rewritten. What do you think it's doing to me to do this? To do this, I'm writing, I'm circling, I'm underlining, I'm starting, I'm writing in the columns. 15 years later ago, I was writing. I'm writing. That's taking that and ingraining it in me in a whole nother level than somebody that's just thinking it kind of randomly here or there, or saying it occasionally, or maybe typing something in their note section never to probably be looked at again. There's power in the pen, you guys. I can't say that enough. So go over your desires, just as the man he described, the one that was wanting the rug and da-da-da on his house, right? And see what you want and get a clear mental picture of it as if you wish it to look when you get it. This is the part where Joel was saying, right? Go over your desires, just as the man he described. See what you want and get a clear mental picture as if your wish was to look like when you got it. As if it's already done. I remember when I was a double diamond and I wanted to go triple. I would sit there every day just for a couple minutes, and I would be in the audience, and I would see myself on stage in an arena, believe it or not. I would see myself on stage in an arena, and I would see Mark and Pam, because back then they would, give you this little like pen or something when you were triple diamond. But I would see them interviewing me on stage in front of everybody as a triple diamond. It would be brief minutes, but I could lock into that feeling. I was watching myself in the audience being presented with the little, whatever it was for triple diamond, and being able to speak on stage in front of everybody congratulating me as a triple diamond. That locking into that feeling, that desire, as if it was done. You guys, I went from ruby to triple in 5 months. If I can do it, why can you not do it? You can. It's so much easier now. Your charts don't look like my charts did. Okay? Kelsey went triple the hard way, the old way, right? If I can go ruby to triple in 5 months, you can go ruby to triple in 5 months. Sit your ass down and give yourself some time to cultivate that feeling as if it's already accomplished. And if you can't lock into it immediately, do it again the next day and do it again the next day. Again, he said constant, didn't he? Not like do it every once in a while or kind of think about it here or there. He said constant, continuous effort daily, right? Some of the things are well enough. This is super important too. So don't lose sight of your goals, right? Keep them continually in your mind. But he says it's not necessary to take exercises in concentration, nor to spend times in prayer and affirmations or go into silence or to do occult stunts. Again, like I told you, I just took a couple minutes, right? A little bit of time grounding, a little bit of time journaling, right? All you need to do is know what you want and want it badly enough that it stays in your thoughts. You know what your goal is. You know what level you want to accomplish. You know the money or whatever it is you want to do, to make, to change. It has to stay in your mind long enough in order to manifest it. Spend as much of your leisure time as you can contemplating your picture. No one needs to take exercise to concentrate his mind on a thing that what she really wants, right? If you really want it, you don't have to take the time to exercise your thoughts on it, right? If you really want it, shouldn't it be top of mind anyways? Shouldn't it be something? I was talking to somebody the other day and she's like, my goal is diamond. I'm like, okay, let me see your chart. She's like, I don't have a chart. I said, well, you're not going diamond. She's like, what? And I'm like, you're not going diamond. You're not going diamond if you don't have a chart printed out. Print out a chart. Are you joking right now? How do you think you're going to get there if you don't have a chart? It just doesn't magically poof happen. You have to have something tangible in front of you, right? You have to know what you're going for. She was like, how many distributors do you need? She's like, well, I'm not for sure. I'm like, okay, well, then you really don't want diamond, do you? She's like, well, I don't know. I'm like, well, when you think about it, let me just tell you what diamond entails and what it's going to require for your time, energy, and effort. Then we'll have this conversation again about whether or not you're going diamond. Okay? I'm not saying you can't go diamond, but you can't go diamond unless you are focused on it, right? It's something that you're thinking about all the time that gets in front of you. It's top of mind, right? Wouldn't you think if you're doing it you'd have a chart? Remember we talked about that ship leaving the harbor? It's not going to go anywhere if you don't have that chart, if you don't have that map plotted, right? And our charts are our maps. So he says, unless you really want to get rich, so the desire is strong enough to hold your thoughts dedicated to the purpose as the magnetic pole holds the needle of the compass, it will hardly be worthwhile for you to try to carry out the instructions given in this book. Here's the part I told you about. Okay. Unless you really want to get rich, I need you to do a reality check with yourself. Do I really want to get rich? You have to ask yourself that. If you have the slightest I don't think so, I really don't want to be rich, I'm well enough, I'm okay, I don't know, if you still have some of those old programs like rich people are this or rich people do that or so-and-so won't like me or my family won't approve or I don't know what all these things could possibly run through your head. Unless you're like, come hell or high water, I'm getting rich. I'm going to make this happen. I will be rich. I don't care what anybody else says. I'm going to be rich. Like, it's done. Move over, people. I'm going to get rich. Then he says right here, unless you really want to get rich, so that the desire is so strong to hold and enough to hold your thoughts directed to the purpose as the magnetic pole, right? That magnet in your heart, it will hardly be worthwhile for you to try to carry out the instructions given in this book. You have to want to get rich. Like, I remember as a child, a little child, remember I told you about the money trees out back? Those were pear trees. Those were money trees to me. Like, making money. I'm a life path 8. I came here to make money, people. Like, business, entrepreneurship, money. It is my soul's purpose and mission to be here. It may not be yours, which is totally fine. I'm not judging you. I don't care if you get rich or not. All I'm worried about is me getting rich, because I'm here for me, right? And I'm here to inspire others. You got to decide what you're here for. And if it's like, I don't want to get rich, then you don't want to get rich. It's totally fine. No judgment. But I'm just telling you, if you want to get rich, you're going to have to move all that other stuff aside. The methods set forth here are for people whose desire for riches is strong enough to overcome mental laziness and the love of ease, and to make them work. This is why not everybody's rich. Do you understand that? This is why everybody is not rich. The methods in this book are for those whose desire for riches is strong enough to overcome mental laziness. Again, I'm not judging you, but I'm just saying, if you love things to be easy, you love it to be simple, you love to be in the comfort zone, just chill. I want all this taken care of for me. La, la, la. I don't want to struggle. I don't want to get out there and put out too much work. I'm an introvert. If I hear one more time out of somebody's mouth, I'm an introvert. Like, okay, well then just stay poor. I don't care. Whatever. Do whatever you're going to do. Be an introvert at home complaining about your life. I don't know what to tell you. There's a million introverts that are rich, right? You can be an introvert and be rich. If you want to use that as an excuse, you can use an excuse. I'm not saying introverts are lazy. I'm not saying that at all. But, I'm just saying mental laziness means that you're making excuses. I'd rather just have it easy. I'd rather just not put forth that. I don't want to work that hard. I'd rather watch The Voice. I'd rather watch American Idol. I don't really want to work that hard. I know those two are on right now because my mother-in-law, that's all she does is watch TV. And so she talks about all that. They're down here right now. So she's talking about who's doing it. I'm like, I don't know these people, and I really don't care. I don't care. It's great. I'm a hope. Who wins? It's wonderful. Go get your record deal. Whatever. I'm over here doing my thing, right? I'm not mentally lazy. So overcoming that mental laziness and that love of ease to make these things work. It's going to require your work. It's going to require your time, energy, effort, your dedication, your consistency, which is why the majority of the people on this planet are not rich, because they choose to not apply these principles. All right. So the more clear and definite you can be, you can make your picture, then the more you dwell upon it, bringing about its delightful details, the stronger your desire will be. The stronger your desire, the easier it will be to hold your mind fixed upon the picture of what you want. But something more is necessary than merely to see the picture clearly. This is really huge here, okay? Something more is necessary. If all you do is just hold the picture in your mind, you're a dreamer, and you have little or no power for accomplishment. Behind your clear vision must be the purpose to realize it, to bring it out in tangible expression. And behind this purpose must be invincible and unwavering faith that the thing is already yours, that it's at hand, and you've only to take possession of it. This is huge right here. So again, gratitude is your key, right? Cultivating that profound, deep feeling of gratitude for all things. Things that you currently have in your life and things that you're going to obtain in your life, as if they were already done. It takes practice, but you can do it. Behind your clear vision must be the purpose to realize it, to bring it out in tangible expression. Behind the purpose must be invincible and unwavering faith. It's that come hell or high water, this is happening. I am going to do this. And I will find a way, because I will stay centered and focused in gratitude, in love and appreciation. And I will work for this. I will stay committed to myself. Like the post I did this morning when I run in the morning, all these thoughts and ideas come through for different posts. And because I had somebody ask me, are you even still running? And I'm like, may have been the person that also challenged me to do 1,000 burpees. So if you're doing 700, you might as well go ahead and do 1,000. I'm like, okay, yeah, I'm still running. Just because I don't post about it every day doesn't mean I'm not doing it. All right, I'm doing it every single day. It's what I do what you don't see is what happens to make the things that you do see. Whether it's the health, whether it's the fitness, whether it's the lifestyle, or whatever it is, the money, whatever, the rank, the business, it's the things that you don't see me doing that produce those results. And so I was like, that's interesting. Okay. So that purpose to achieve those things, that purpose, that unwavering faith that it's already yours, and for you to be able to take possession of it, like the new house, like the new car, like the clothes, like the whatever paid for, the college paid for, whatever, right? Until it takes around you, until it takes form around you physically. In the middle realm, enter at once into full enjoyment of the things you want. So whatsoever things ye ask for, ye pray, believe, keyword is believe, that ye receive them, and ye shall have them, said Jesus. Whatever you ask for, when you believe that you will receive it, you shall have it. We're going to talk about the receptive mode next. So see yourself owning and using the things, making good use of things in your imagination, and you will also see where they are in your life. Purpose as if it's done. See it done. Again, the gratitude journal, I cannot express this enough. So take possession of things in your mind. You do that in your gratitude journal in full faith that it's actually yours. Hold mental ownership. Don't waver for an instant in the faith that it is real, no matter what other people around you say. Be as thankful for it all the time as you expect to be when you get it, when it's taken form. So the person who can sincerely thank God, here's the part I was telling you about, the person that can sincerely thank God for the things which as yet he owns, only in imagination has real faith. The person, this is key, you guys, in your gratitude journal, the person who can sincerely, like I said, me sitting there 5 minutes, thanking God, locking into that feeling as if it's already done. The person who can sincerely thank God for the things which as yet he owns only in imagination has real faith. He will get rich. He will cause creation of whatever he wants. All right, so I know I'm going over. It's hard. Look at this, you guys. This is just so profound. This part's key. You don't need to pray repeatedly for things you want. It's not necessary to tell God about it every day. Your part. So I had a distributor once in Arbonne. She was a wonderful lady, a little older, over in Louisville, Kentucky. And we'd be on the phone. She said, Stacy, I'm spend 2 hours on my knees praying. 2 hours this is coming to me. I said, I don't remember what was her name. Was it like Brenda, Gloria, something? I don't know. She was an older African-American woman. She was hilarious. I can't remember her name now. But anyways, I told her, say her name was Brenda. I said, Brenda, you can be on your knees praying for 2 years, but unless you get up out of that house and go to work, nothing is going to happen in your business. And it didn't. She stayed there and prayed. I've been praying for hours. I'm on my knees. It's coming. And I'm like, no, it ain't. If you don't get out of your house, it ain't coming. Go work. She never got it. Bless her soul. Anyway, so Don't be praying it all like 24/7 and not getting out of your house and doing stuff, okay? Unless you're on your phone, then you can. Back then, we can't work on our phones. So your part is to intelligently formulate your desire for the things which make for larger life and to get those desires arranged into a coherent whole. Remember those coherent sentences? And then to impress this whole desire upon God, formless substance, which has the power and the will to bring you what you want. Huh. So you mean I can write my gratitude journal and I'll get everything I want? Yeah. 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 All right. You don't make this impression by repeating strings of words. You make it by holding the vision with purpose, unshakable purpose to attain it, and with a steadfast faith that you do attain it. And you have to get in the receptive mode. Once you have clearly formed your vision, the whole matter turns to receiving. You know what you want because you're writing in your journal. Now I'm open to receive. Missy, you know this. Courtney, you know this. I need an intake form. This is me yesterday. I need an intake form. I need some type of form. I don't know what I need. I need some type of form. So I go for a run. Get back from my run. I'm like, okay. There's those one ambassadors on Instagram. They did this like kind of like questionnaire, this kind of like survey form. Okay, so it dawns on me. So I send Caitlin a message. Caitlin, what was that form? What was that video? What do I do? How do I create one of those? She sends me an 8-minute YouTube video. I watch it. Last night, poof, I make a form. I said I need a form. I need a form. I need a form. I'm putting it out there. I need a form right now. What's the purpose? Of course I have a purpose. Of course I have faith and belief the form is going to come to me. I know it's going to come to me. Just give it to me. I'm open. I'm receptive. Bring it to me, God. And what did I do? I had it sent out literally 45 forms last night. I got 45 forms back today. And I went through the park and I sat through every single one of those forms. So I'll be in touch with you guys shortly. But anyways, now I'm asking for the exact template for the exact meal plan. Drop all these things in here simply and easily. I'm asking, I'm open, I'm receptive, I'm waiting patiently, but I'm also got to get on the computer and do a little research. Just haven't had time to do that yet. Kirsten got here today to play with Taylor, and so after I got done in the park, then she's been here, and it's been fabulous. But anyways, you guys, so that purpose and that faith, okay? What's the purpose? Where is your faith? So the answer to prayer is not according to your faith while you're talking. This is so key. But according to your faith while you're working. Okay, while you are working, that is the answer to your prayer. Your prayers get answered while you're working. The prayers get answered while you are working. Not while you're talking, but while you're working, right? And you've got to be open to receive those answers, okay? Be open. Get this. It's so important. You cannot impress the mind of God by having a special day or a time to set apart to have this conversation. It needs to be something that's happening on a regular basis, on a daily basis, right? So oral prayer is great. There's nothing wrong with it. It helps you with clarifying your vision, strengthening your faith, but it's not your oral petitions that are going to get you what you want, okay? In order to get rich, you do not need a sweet hour of prayer. You need to pray without ceasing, which means you are living it. You are doing it. And by prayer, I mean holding steady to your vision with the purpose to cause its creation into solid form and the faith that you are doing so. Believe that ye receive them. So again, receptive mode, once you've clearly formed your vision, the whole matter turns on to receiving. And when you have formed it, it is well to make an oral statement addressing the Supreme in gratitude. Thank you, God, for this rank of diamond. Thank you, God, for this amount of blank in my bank account, whatever it may be. So again, it's holding to that faith, right? That the imaginary is becoming realized and to your purpose to realize it. And faith and purpose and the use of imagination make the difference between the scientist and the dreamer. This is a science of getting rich, you guys. Okay, so that faith and purpose, that's the difference right there. Oh man, so much goodness. I know somebody said chapter 9 was incredible, and it is incredible. It absolutely is incredible as well too. So how to use the will. So it's wrong. This is how I'm going to sum this page up right here. It's wrong to apply your will to other men and women in order to get them to do as you wish. Your job is not to convince people. I always say every yes is divinely guided and every no is divinely guided. I am not going to hold attachment to you. If you don't want to join my team, you don't want to join my team. I'm not going to beg you. Why would I beg somebody to be rich? Why would I do that? No, right? So you can't try to convince people to do something that they don't want to do. It's not your job. Even if it's good for them, they need the greens. It's good for them. You can't convince them of that, right? They've got to decide that on their own. They've got to make that decision on their own. So you, here it is right here. Oh, I love this part. So basically what he says here is to get rich, you only need to use your willpower upon yourself. Substance is friendly to you and is more anxious to give you what you want than you are to get it. But to get rich, you've got to use your willpower on yourself. You've got to get over your mental laziness. You've got to make yourself do the work that others are doing, that are getting the levels or the income or the life that you want. You've got to do the work. That's what it boils down to. So you use your willpower on yourself, right? And when you know what to think and do, then you must use your will to compel yourself to think and do the right things. That's legitimate use of the will in getting what you want, in use in holding yourself to the right course. So use your will to keep yourself thinking and acting in a certain way. You have to make yourself act and think in a certain way. No one's going to do it for you. No one. You have to do it yourself. And that's where the difference comes in, right? You have to keep your mind focused. Okay? So when he says, use your will to keep your mind working in the right way. That's why the gratitude journal keeps you moving forward in the right way. The more steady and continuous your faith and purpose, the more rapidly you'll get rich. Because you will make only positive impressions upon substance, and you will not neutralize the offset by negative impressions. I'm going to read that again because this is huge. This is really big. The more steady and continuous your faith and purpose. So this is you doing the daily things. Steady, continuous. Your faith and purpose, the more rapidly you will get rich because you will make only positive impressions upon substance. And you will not neutralize or offset them by negative impressions. So if you can stay, as Abraham says, in that vortex of all the things that are beneficial, the peace, the love, the joy, the happiness, the health, the wealth, the success, all the things great from God, then if you can stay in that, you'll make only positive impressions. That's why you see people get rich fast. That's why you see people jump ranks fast. That's why Kelsey went to Diamond in 90 days, right? Because she stayed in that place of consistency with faith and purpose. She didn't get out of it. She didn't let doubts hold her back. She just did it, right? And so that right there, the picture of your desires held with faith and purpose is taken up with the formless, with God, permeates to great distances throughout the universe. It brings everything back to you, right? You're the magnet. So this next paragraph is like huge. This is huge. So as this impression spreads, all things are set moving toward its realization. Every living thing, every inanimate thing, and the things yet uncreated are stirred toward bringing into being that which you want. This is how powerful this magnet is. All force begins to be exerted in that direction. All things to begin to move towards you. The minds of people everywhere are influenced toward doing the things necessary to fulfilling your desires. And they work for you unconsciously. I don't know if you guys understand that. I hope you find that paragraph, and I hope you read it and read it and read it until you do. But you can check all this check all this by starting a negative impression and formless substance. So doubt and disbelief is as certain to start a movement away from you as faith and purpose is to start one towards you. So it's by not understanding this that most people make their failure. He actually put this in bold. He does not put many things in bold in this book. This right here is bold. So if you want to put a big X through this magnet attracting everything towards you that you want, then you need to have doubt. You need to have disbelief. You need to start, complaining, arguing, disagreeing, feeling resentment, guilt, jealousy, comparison. All of those things are going to move your goals away from you. That's why you got to get a check on those feelings. When you hear me say like, oh, bless it, bless her soul, just bless it. That's my way of saying, nah, I just cut it out of my life, because I know I can't give time, energy, and effort to this conversation or this situation or this insanity. Just bless it. I don't have time for it because it doesn't take me towards my goals. And that may sound cruel or harsh or whatever, but whatever. You bless it and move on. Move out of the way so I can stay focused on where I'm going. So it's by not understanding this that most people make their failure. That's huge. Huge, 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 huge. Every hour, moment you spend in giving heed to your doubts and fears, every hour you spend in worry, every hour in which your soul is possessed by unbelief sets a current away from you in a whole domain of intelligent substance. All the promises, listen, all the promises are unto them that believe, and unto them only. Remember what I said at the beginning of the book? Like, you're going to take on some new beliefs, some new thoughts, new ways of looking at things that maybe didn't resonate with you before. I'm telling you right now, all the promises, all the things that you want are for those people who believe. Only those people that believe. And since belief is all important, it behooves you to guard your thoughts. And as your beliefs will be shaped into very great extent by the things you observe and think about, it's important that you should carefully govern what you give your attention. Again, those conversations in your head, those arguments, blah, 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 blah. I'm not saying I've never done it. Of course I have. Bless it, right? You just got to bless it, let it go, and move on. If you want to be rich, you must not make a study of poverty. You can't focus on those things. Things are not brought into being by thinking of the opposites. It doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way in health. It doesn't work that way in wealth. It just doesn't work that way, okay? And he goes on to say, like, don't get caught up in poverty. If you want to be rich, then the best way you can do is to get rich. If you want to help the poor, get rich. I love this one sentence. The poor don't need charity, they need inspiration. And I'm not saying don't donate to give people, don't give things to people. I'm not saying that at all, because I do that absolutely. But I'm saying you can't put all your time, energy, and effort and focus on there. Okay? So your best thing to do is to get rich and inspire others. How did you do this? Read this book. Oh my gosh, how did you do this? Listen to this audio, right? Apply the principles that are in here. This is what I did. Inspire others to be great, because you're being great, right? You're working on yourself, that growth and contribution. That's what I said today. It's what you're doing behind the scenes. It's not for significance. It's not for, I need to be praised. I need to be this. Because I've been there. I've been there where I wanted to achieve this for this trophy or this rank or whatever. I've done that. It's not satisfying. It's satisfying when it comes from within, okay? So prove it by getting rich, and being rich by the creative mode, not by competitive. Use your willpower to keep your mind off the subject of poverty and keep it fixed on faith and purpose, on the vision of what you want and what you're creating. That's really, I can't say it enough, you guys, in creating the things that you want. It's why the majority of this planet is in poverty, because we're not taught these things as a child. We're not taught these things in school. We're only taught the things that our parents were taught by their parents and their parents and their parents. And sometimes it's fabulous. Sometimes it's great. Sometimes it's amazing. There's lots of great principles woven into our lives, right? We're not all bags of shit. I'm not saying that. But I'm saying that there are a lot of limiting beliefs and a lot of programs that us humans have based on our childhood, based on our parents, our upbringing, and kids and, teachers and the environment. So it's our jobs as adults, especially in this day and age, to be able to say, wait a minute, like these things, I'm looking at taking an inventory of my life, and I can't check all the boxes on everything's the best that it could possibly be. So what do I need to do different? What do I need to read? What do I need to practice? What do I need to apply in my life And in everything I've read, and I only read books on personal growth and development, improving yourself, and the laws of attraction, and all the laws of nature, and health, wellness. That's like, I read zero of any kind of like not true foo-foo fiction, whatever books or whatever that stuff. I don't have time for any of that. I want knowledge, I want information, and I want to apply that in my life to be able to see those changes, because we're here for growth and contribution. We're here to grow ourselves and contribute to others. In everything I've read, everything I've studied, gratitude is it. Gratitude is it. It is the key to everything. Manifesting everything you want comes from a grateful heart, as if it's already done. It will take your practice. It will take your dedication. It will take your time, energy, and effort to quiet your mind and hone in on that you want, and feel it as if it's already done. It may sound elusive right now. It may sound like I don't know how I'm going to get there. You don't have to know how you're going to get there. You know the steps. The steps are being shown to you right now. I'm sharing with you. He doesn't even share some of the tools that I've utilized. He just says, this is it. Use your willpower and go do it. Right? I'm saying, if you'll do this meditation, if you'll do this gratitude journal, if you'll do this grounding, these are tools that can help you get in the habit. So when you're out there on your jog and you say, I need this, thank you, it is done. And boom, it pops in your mind. Oh, that. Thank you. Yes. Got it. Oh, how do I do it? I don't know. Give it to me. Oh, yes, that. Thank you. Boom, 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 boom. Because you've cultivated those practices day after day after day, and year after year after year. So when you sit down and you're like, oh, I think I'm going to sign up 25 loyal customers this month. Okay. And you put forth the effort. Poof, there they come. Because you've made a decision. This is what I'm going to do. Now I'm going to put forth the effort to make it happen. And I'm not going to put my head up until I do. And remember, we talked about it last week. You got to ask largely. I asked for 25 in 2 weeks, and I got 25 in 4 days, 5 days, whatever. Okay, so I didn't ask big enough. Brent's like, haven't you done 60 before in a month? And I'm like, yeah, I think the closest I did was like 75 or 80 in 1 month. Loyal customers. He's like, why don't you go do that again? I'm like, why don't you just go get yourself some too, buddy? You contribute to that number as well. So anyways, you guys, it's gratitude. Across the board, it's gratitude. And I want you to think of some things that you're grateful for, that you have around you right now in your house. Just the fact that you have electricity, right? You have running water, you have food in your refrigerator or in your pantry. Hopefully it's not quarantine 15 food, but you have food in your house, right? Yes. You've got clothing on, thank God. Those are all things that you can be grateful for that you have currently. So then when we get off here in just a second, I want you to think about and really feel some things that you're grateful for that you haven't accomplished yet. And I want you to think short term. Think in the next 2 weeks before the month's over. Think in the next 6 weeks before the end of next month. And even think out the next 90 days. Some things that you're grateful for, some changes, some things that are happening in your life in the next 2 weeks, in the next 4 weeks, and in the next 12 weeks. Things that haven't happened yet, but that you're grateful for, that as if they're already done. And I want you to try to practice, like feeling, just try to practice it once or twice a day. Like, what would it feel like if I clicked on my commission statement and it showed $2,500? Like, what would that feel like? How would that feel? Like, what would you do? If you can feel that even for a split second, and even if you can't feel it yet, so you try again later, you try again later, you try again later, like, what would it feel like if you clicked on that and it said 25,000? If it was 2,500, I'd be like, shit, that's my grocery bill. But if I clicked on 25,000, what's 25,000 feel like? What can I do with $25,000 in a month? Not a year, a month. Now we're talking. What are we going to do with that? How's that going to feel? What would $50,000 a month feel like? Party time. Yeah. What would it feel like? $50,000. Like, would you be in disbelief? I'll never forget. I was sitting in Seattle, Washington at a boot camp. Brent was, I don't know, he was somewhere down the row. I was next to the ladies in my upline. And I clicked on commissions and I clicked on his commissions and we just made $47,000. We just made $47,000. 47, who makes $47,000 in a month? I was just like, oh my God, my mind was blown. Well, of course, we paid off our house. It's done. We almost had it paid off anyways. We're like, yeah, we just paid off the house. Student loan paid off. Boom, done. We had no bills, no debt. Woo! Right? Like $47,000 in 1 month. Oh my God! You're paying off your rental home, $50,000. Woo, woo, woo! Yeah, you're gonna have it paid off this year, right? So, how would you feel? Like, what would you be able to do? If you can't think of 50,000 yet, think of 2,500. Think of 10,000. Like, what are you gonna do when $10,000 is your commission? You'll have your Jeep. Yes, because that baby will be bigger. Right? Go boop, boop, bouncing around. But what would you feel like if $10,000 hit your bank account? You click on your commissions and you're like, yeah, there's 10 grand. 10 grand, what would you do with that? In your gratitude journal, you're so happy and grateful for making $10,000 with It Works this month because, and you're writing all the things that you're going to do with that $10,000. Make sure you include something for yourself. A massage, a pedicure, spa day. I'm voting for a new wardrobe. I mean, something, right? Do something for yourself. Laser hair removal, best thing ever, right? Get your eyebrows done, get your hair done. I don't know. I'm a print girl, right? Get all the things done, all the self-care. Maybe you're like, I'm going to go buy myself a Jeep and go hunting in the woods. I don't care. Whatever you want to do. But just you got to feel it. Feel it as if it's already done. Because that magnet, that practice and that magnet, that feeling is going to draw it to you. And remember, life's a boomerang. So what you put out, you get back tenfold. So the more you stay in that place, that genuine place of gratitude for the little things. I'm grateful I made it there on time. I'm grateful that my son's with me in the car today. I'm grateful that I had food in my, stuff, skinny brew to make, skinny brew smoothie. I'm grateful. This tastes so amazing, right? People can feel that gratitude and they're drawn to you. They want what you have. They want to be a part of what you're doing. And you're inspiring them. But don't underestimate the power that you have to inspire others. If you don't think you're an inspiration, stay focused on your growth. Because as you grow, you don't have a choice but to be an inspiration to others. Because you're contributing. You're making a difference in your life and people are watching. They're watching everywhere, right? And when you're not posting, they're going, are you running? Are you still doing burpees? Are you still doing this? I'm like, yes, I am. Because it's all about me, taking care of me. So I'm still doing my things. Even if I didn't happen to post my 5 million burpees today. I'm sorry you didn't get to see that on my Facebook timeline. I'll try to get that video out there for you today, though. Right? They like that. Is she still doing it? Is she still in It Works? Is she still using the products? What's she doing? They like to see that. People like to know that you're not selling them, right? You're adding value because you're growing yourself. They're seeing the changes in you. They're seeing your consistency. They're seeing your growth, and they're inspired by that, and they want to be a part of it. That's where you want to live. You want to add that value, like we talked about last week. Add that value to people so that they come to you because you're that magnet, right? You're putting out the energy and the effort. You're working. You're using your willpower on yourself, but then you're that magnet too. Like the 3 loyals I signed up yesterday and the 2 today, I didn't contact any of them. I never had conversations with any of them. They inboxed me. Hey, I want the skinny brew. Some Army major sergeant dude up north in Indiana. I'm like, who are you? I don't even know you. Sure, I'll sell you the skinny brew. Email me, please. This is confidential. I got a confidential security email from some major sergeant such and such up in India. I'm serious. I was like, 2-part email because it was confidential with his information. I'm like, do you understand the whole customer agreement in this confidentiality statement? He's like, yes, I'll take 1 bag of Skinny Brew, ma'am. I'm like, okay, Sergeant, Major, sir, whatever. Thank you for serving, and here's your Skinny Brew. Right? Never had a conversation with him about anything in my life. That's what you want to be. You want to be in that place. It takes your consistent effort. And it takes you dedicated to your gratitude, to your commitment to you, and to living in that space. You deserve it. It's the greatest place to be. And things are going to change in your life. Things will change. You will see. People will fall away. New people will come in. Old habits will go away. Things that you used to do, places you used to go, people used to be around won't happen anymore. New people will come into your life. New habits will be formed. New places you'll go. New things you'll experience. New things you'll see. And if you're like, I don't want to do that, then you don't want to change, then this is not the book for you. Or really even the life for you. Because life is about change. The seasons change. The weather changes. Everything changes. Right? You want to be growing in that progression, that growth into what's new, into what's coming. The unknown. Right? The unknown. That's what I'll leave you with. Infinite source, God, is unknown, right? Infinite possibilities exist. If you're using the term quantum physics, infinite possibilities exist, right? God is infinite. Space is infinite. We don't know where the universes end, do we? It's not measurable. It goes on forever. There's enough right there just to blow your mind. So if infinite exists, then infinite possibilities exist for you. Sometimes we get so stuck in this little bitty, teeny tiny mind of our environment and the immediate people and our immediate current situations and our bank account and our life that we forget that there's this massive, huge, infinite, abundant universe, source, God, that will give you anything that you will tap into. And you tap into that infinite realm of possibilities from your gratitude, from quieting your mind and staying centered and focused in your heart. Infinite possibilities exist. You will, if you stay committed to reading this book and other books and listening to audios in this type of mindset, you will watch a progression in your life change. You will watch things change for the betterment of you and your family for generations to come. The choices that I have made, the things that I've done, the things I've put into practice in my life. Trey was 9 months old when I got into work, when I got into Arbonne. 9 months old. He knows nothing other than this entire life. The last 15 years, he's 15 and a half, 15 years of his life. He knows nothing but that he only knows this life. He only knows infinite possibilities exist. And this is how you create and cultivate it. The kid pulled the magic off the shelf in the library of thousands of books. This is the one you need, Mom. It's a book on gratitude. This will change your business. This will take your business to the next level. You guys are promoted to Ambassador Diamond months later. About maybe 6-8 months after I got the book, promoted to Ambassador Diamond. That's all he knows. He knows nothing different. If you start now, even if your kids are older, maybe you don't even have kids, they'll see and watch the changes in you, and the ripple effect will go down generations to come. It will go for lifetimes. The changes, the things that you're doing now. So don't think it doesn't matter or you can't make a difference. And you never know the ripple effect when you drop that stone in the pond, when you make those changes yourself. Maybe it's not your kid. Maybe it's 500,000 other people that watch you rise to greatness, and they rise up with you, and it's their entire lineages for generations to come that change. That's powerful. That's huge. That's the power of this book. That's the power of this life, this lifestyle, making these choices and these commitments. So I know we went over by 30 minutes. I really want to keep these to an hour. But I just also can't stop what comes out either. And so when it's like whenever like I said, I sit here and when what comes through, and it is what it is. So thank you for being on here tonight. I appreciate all of you guys and everything that you do. Unmuted you guys. So I appreciate you for being on here. And we will be doing chapters 10, 11, and 12. And then the following week, we will finish the book with 15, 16.
Why am I still doing this? You're probably going to say you love me. That's why you're going to say that, aren't you?
Babe, I need to turn this off.
Yes, so thank you guys for being on here tonight. And
I'm unmuted.
upload.